All right, this is Jeffrey Harris, and you are once again listening to the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast. For today's interview, we are speaking with La Empresaria. She is Salina de la Renta.
Hi.
She does not manage wrestlers. She showcases premier Latin talent in MLW. She is the first female executive producer of MLW and in wrestling. Salina, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a great honor and pleasure.
Thank you for your time. Sorry, I almost cut you off.
No. That is not a problem. This is great. So I'm very curious. What would you say was the inspiration behind this, amazing power broker, deal maker character you've developed for MLW?
Inspiration? Well, the inspiration of everything I've done in my life has been my mom. In all reality, I think I was raised by a single mother, and her story is so inspiring. Like, I don't know if this is too much to share, but when she was 17, my grandma kicked her out of her house, and she had to live on the streets, and she started literally from the bottom, and she managed to raise me and my sister, and to me, there was no dad or anything, so she was very inspiring how she did everything on her own, and I didn't see all her efforts until I grew up and understood the value of things and everything, and I was like, man, I want to be like her. What can I do? So I started trying to be the best at everything that I liked. And when I met professional wrestling, I was like, all right, here's my opportunity to blow up, and I took every chance that I saw. So I would say the inspiration is my mom.
I don't think that's too much at all. We want to hear your story and about, your upbringing. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I just thought because it's a personal thing for her, so I didn't know.
Oh. Also, I mean, I've noticed when you cut your promos, you tend not to raise your voice or really yell or scream a lot. You exude a lot of quiet intensity. Is that sort of the vibe you want to give off?
The thing is that that's how I really am.
Right.
There's no such thing as playing a character here. That this is who I really, really am. My mom raised us to. Me and my sister, if we had arguments, we would whisper, and my mom actually would hear us, and she'd be like, if anybody's arguing, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. So we always were really intense with our looks, with the way that we talked, that we use strong words, but we never use loud, we don't yell, that we just behave politely, but I guess that's just why I am like that.
You see, the thing is, in pro wrestling, a lot of people, when they talk, they like to yell or raise their voice a lot. But what's refreshing about your character is, you have to, because you're not always raising your voice and yelling and screaming. You have to pay attention. You have to listen, and it's sort of, I think it's a more captivating type of character. Do you agree?
I agree, yeah, and I don't like working myself. Getting hot about things, because then in the end, who did I really hurt? Myself. Only I'm the one that's stressing, and I don't really yell at anybody, because if somebody was to not yell back, I'm gonna look stupid.
No, yeah, go ahead.
No, so yeah. That's why I don't like yelling. That's not my style.
So can you tell me about when you actually started your wrestling training and how that worked for you, and where you got your training and schooling work done for the business?
So my story with wrestling is a little bit different. I didn't know wrestling until I was 19, I would say, and I moved to Florida because I wanted to study film, and I hadn't met wrestling at all. I remember watching some WWE stuff, and it was the Boogeyman eating worms. That's my first memory of wrestling. Then there's really not anything else that I remember. I remember knowing about John Cena. I knew about The Undertaker, but everybody else to me was non-existent. Then when I moved to Florida, one of my assignments in college was to study reality TV, and I came across the show Total Divas. And that is how I come to know about wrestling. And after watching the show, it just wouldn't get off of my mind. I was like, man, I feel like a wrestler. I look like a wrestler. I am a wrestler, and I had no wrestling experience, and I kept going back to the mirror and saying, what if I had like really big guns? And what if I just like shove somebody against the wall? And I always had these thoughts, and I'm like, this isn't normal, because I used to just daydream about being in a movie. And when I met wrestling, it was like I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I told my mom, hey, do you think I look like a model? Because that's what I was doing at the time. Or like a wrestler? And my mom's like, I mean, you've been modeling, but I can see why you would think that you look like a wrestler. And that was enough for me. Like, I'm like, all right, that's it. I need to be a wrestler. I went on the WWE website, and they have a tab that says how to become a professional wrestler. And it's set to start on the indies. And I looked for a school. I'm at Pro Wrestling 2.0. And that was it for me. I started wrestling, and I fell in love with it. And I just worked hard, and now I am where I am.
Who would you consider your biggest mentors in the business?
My biggest mentor would be Mr. St. Laurent, who is the vice president of MLW, and Court Bauer right now.
Now, what do you have to say now for MLW as a working environment, and how they've been able to progress your character in the last year?
Can you rephrase that question?
I guess. Well, first, how is MLW as a working environment for you, and how it's been able to kind of let your talents, I guess, sort of blossom?
Well, when I talk about professional wrestling with people that are in the business, I hear a lot of like, oh, working on TV isn't necessarily the best environment. But in my experience, working with MLW has always been amazing. Like, we are really like a family. And I love that they all look out for each other, and if they see something, they point it out, but not to bash you, just to make you better. And everybody on the team is always looking to see how we can all improve and make the product better. It's never about let me be better. It's about how can we make all of us better. And I feel that MLW has been the perfect place for me to start, and I couldn't ask for a better environment.
Now, in terms of your character of Salina de la Renta in MLW, how do you like how your character has progressed from being a manager and valet, and now you've gotten the chance to be the executive producer of the TV show? And I believe I read that one of the episodes you produced was one of the most viewed MLW episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an honor to start. Like, when I started, I only managed. I really barely did any promos, and I didn't do much. And I always like worked harder, and I was always telling Court, hey, just so you know, I have this talent, I have this other talent, I can do this, I can do that. And I would never see like anything come back from it. I was just always mentioning it. But I don't know, I'm always that kind of person that needs to tell everybody what I can do in case they need help. And one day Court's like, hey, so you pitches and a couple of things that I really liked, and I like your writing, so I wonder, would you be interested in executive producing an episode? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, of course. I wanted to write. That's like, I don't know, ever since I started working in MLW, yes, I liked being in front of the camera, but I also liked very much to see the producers and the people behind the scenes, and I always wanted to be part of the office. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, all right, this is my time to shine. I'll do myself for real now. And I guess that I was blessed with the idea that had the most ratings.
Now, when is your next episode as executive producer?
I have no idea right now. This is the sort of thing that comes out of nowhere.
Okay.
I never know when they're gonna ask me, but every time that we're closer to the dates, they'll be like, "Hey, would you want to produce?" And if they give me the opportunity, yeah, I will produce every show if they want.
Now, there was also the announcement this week from MLW that the company now has a working relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah. Are you going to be looking at any Noah talent or wrestlers that you maybe want to work with in the future?
Well, absolutely. What kind of promoter would not
Right.
look at talent, you know? But yeah, I do have my eyes on a couple people, but that's confidential information for you.
Ooh. Now, does this mean you might want to go to Japan and check out Noah and scout some talent over there?
I would definitely love to. Yes, that does mean that.
Now maybe this means you're going to take some of your talents and you're going to test them against some of the best of what Noah has to offer. And they're going to get, they're going to see what real wrestling is like over there, right?
Well, that's correct, but then that would just be you speculating.
I am speculating, but I'm curious, what do you think about that speculation?
I think that if you continue to watch the show, you'll find out.
All right. Now, do you have any plans or intention of getting into the ring in MLW?
As of right now, I do not have that intention. I would love to down the line, but because of the injury that I had in my knee, and it wasn't one, my leg snapped 5 different times. My doctor was pretty upset about my decision making, and he said that he will not clear me until he knows that I'm 110%. And right now I'm not cleared, and I don't know when I'm going to be back.
How is your knee doing right now? Are you okay?
Well, I feel good, but my one leg is smaller than the other, and apparently I have to work hard to get it back to how it is supposed to be. And sometimes it hurts a lot, and it gets like jammed. I'm just trying. I go to PT, and I'm gonna start doing yoga, but I don't know how this is gonna help or make it worse.
Now, also, how do you like getting to work with Pentagon Jr.? I think is an amazing talent.
Well, I haven't worked with him in over a year, but when I did, it was awesome. It was really awesome. He was one of the first people that I got to manage, and to me that was something that felt like they had a lot of faith in me, because when I was relative. I'm still pretty new in this business, but when that started, I was very new to TV. It was probably, I'd say, my second time on TV. Third time, and I guess from what they saw behind the scenes, they decided that I was good enough to be representing that big of a star, and that's how everything started.
Now, also, because of your theater and acting background, I'm curious, how do you view professional wrestling as a type of performance art, and does that sort of help, bring out what you want to do when you're working in wrestling?
Well, definitely my acting background has helped a lot, because I know how to project and I know how to wait to react certain ways. I know that on camera, even though I may feel some type of way, I have to keep certain looks and certain faces for the camera to catch me. And like everything, if you practice, you'll get better, and practicing acting is very, very good for when you're on camera. So definitely they have to do with each other, but I don't know what's the question again?
I guess how you view pro wrestling as sort of like a performance art.
A performing art.
Performing art. Yeah.
To me, that definitely is a performing art, because you have to amplify yourself. It's not just you. I don't go out there and it's about who I really am. It's more about who I am at the most exaggerated way, I would say. I never go after somebody and say, hey, you're gonna get stabbed if you don't do what I say in real life. I never do that. I might get mad and real pushy, and then I'll still get whatever I want. But in real life, I can't do that. I'll go to jail. But in professional wrestling, it's perfectly fine. We all sign waivers. So since it's okay, well, then I behave different. And I feel like it is a performing art, because we have the cameras, we have the colors, we have the clothes, we have everything, the flashy lights, the entrances. Everything is it's a performance. But when it's in the ring, it's a competitive. So I would say it is the perfect combination between the performing arts world and the athletic.
Now, there was this one promo I saw you did with Shane Strickland where he's trying to warn you off, and he doesn't frighten you at all, and you just quietly walk up to him, and it looks like you could just kill him with like just the look you're giving him, and you don't yell, you just quietly walk up and just say something to the side of his head, and it's like one of those if looks could kill type of moments. You look so cool and just had this amazing sort of aura and attitude about you. um I guess I'm just curious, is it easy for you to find that kind of character and kind of live in that space, because it looks effortless for you?
Well, I've been told that I have a mean face, and even when I'm really happy, people have been like, "Hey, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing. I was fine until you asked." Like, I it's terrible. People always think I'm having a terrible time, and I'm just really happy. And I don't think that is hard for me to keep that mood. I guess that's just my vibe.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in politics, I believe you would probably get a lot done, just because you're so intense. I feel like people would, like, on the Senate or House, like people would just listen to what you have to say, just because, like, please don't, please don't hurt us.
I've heard that before a lot. Everybody's always telling me I should go into politics. If I weren't apolitical, I would do it.
Right, right, understood. Now, I'm also curious, as a woman working in this business, recently I feel like women's wrestling is getting a lot more. I think it's improved in giving women more attention and respect, giving them more time in the ring, and showcasing them more alongside the men. Are you encouraged at all with the recent improvements that have been made? What do you think of that?
Well, I definitely think that thanks to the women's revolution, I
Yeah.
have the opportunity to be who I am today. I'm very grateful that a lot of women in wrestling, they dedicated all their time, their passion, their effort into making this be a thing for us. If it wasn't for the Bella Twins or Eva Marie or every girl that was on the Total Divas show, I would not be here. So I definitely see them as encouragement, and because women do it, is that I do it. So yeah, I definitely think that the women's revolution was encouraging to me, and I hope that it is to other women as well.
And Ronda Rousey, do you like Ronda Rousey too?
I like her. Her style's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strong. Like, I feel like people, when they face her, they have a lot more to worry about.
I would like to see you face off with Ronda Rousey sometime, because I feel like it would be like two planets, like just on a collision course.
It
Or
would be
two
very
star.
different, like, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I think MLW's just been doing good lately, because you guys are on TV, you guys are doing TV, you guys are touring, you guys are going all over the country. So what's it been like to sort of see the progression of MLW as a company as well?
Well, I was with MLW since our audience was nearly 300 people. And right now, the last show drew, I would say, maybe 3,000. And seeing the transition is, oh my God, it's insane. Also seeing the transition in characters too, like you see how most of us start and how well we do throughout time and how much different we are in a year. So like seeing how we expanded definitely let us know that what we're doing is good. It's right because the people are there, and every show there's more people wanting to watch. There's more people asking about it. We get interviewed about it more. We have more merchandise orders. So yeah, it's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Court Bauer definitely sounds like he has a strong vision for this promotion and where he's taking it. Do you agree with that? And what do you think of Court Bauer, just sort of as a boss and sort of as the captain of this ship?
Well, yes, he is very. Let me see. What is a good word to describe Court? Court is a man of his word. So if he says, hey, I think this company, even if it's just a thought, not really a promise. So I think this company could be really big in the next 3 months. And we're like, all right. And in the next 3 months is way bigger than the image that he pictured you. And it's like, oh my god, it's crazy. He always has like a spectacular idea. It's a very different mind, and it's very fun to be around him because I think I have good ideas, and then I hear his ideas, and I feel like mine are really that good. So it's always impressive to see somebody have a brain like that and be able to do what's best for everybody, not just him. Everybody in MLW shines, and that is something not everybody can do.
All right, last question, Salina. If you have any plugs or any projects you'd like to share with the listeners, or where people can find you on social media, or just anything you'd like to share, or anyone you want to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Well, as of right now, I only promote Major League Wrestling and Pro Wrestling 2.0, which is the school that I started at. Pro Wrestling 2.0 runs in Florida, usually on Tuesdays, but if you looked it up online, you'll find a schedule. As well with MLW shows, we're going to be touring, so you can find us on many, many states, so I guess you'll have to look at the ticket list to see where we're going to be next. And on social media, you can find me, Salina de la Renta, everywhere, which is SALINADELARENTA.
Salina, thank you so much for your time. It's been great speaking with you, and I can't wait to see what you're going to be doing next in MLW. So thank you, and you've been listening to Jeffrey Harris and Salina de la Renta on the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast. Thank you, everybody.